Good morning, everybody. Jeremy and Joe. It's going to be hot out there. Hotter than Hellebuyck. No, I don't know. Finish with that. All right, so Travis Yost. I teased this going to the break. The Travis Yost had a piece up about aging goaltenders and what to expect. And this, the numbers he ran, the different goalies that after their age 33 season, that's basically what Travis set out to do. Mm-hmm. And I can give you the 15 goalies he included in his sample and how it went for them. All right?
Okay.
Henrik Lundqvist, Roberto Luongo, Hellebuyck is about to enter this group. Yaroslav Halak, Craig Anderson, Cam Talbot, Freddie Anderson, Jonathan Quick, Marc-Andre Fleury, Ryan Miller, Semyon Varlamov, Bobrovsky, Darcy Kemper, Antti Niemi, Jimmy Howard, and Jake Allen. Okay? Owen, good swath of some guys that are pretty good, some guys that are great. Lundqvist was, of course, great.
Yep. Yeah, like you didn't just do all elite guys.
Yes, that's right. It's all guys over 33. And where were they in relation to their own previous percentile, right? Mm-hmm. Versus when then it came up with a composite. Anyway, so what he found was, and what he wrote was, the conclusion. You want the conclusion first? He writes, the base case for Hellebuyck is that he likely remains a good goaltender for several years forward. But the likelihood of him looking like the league's preeminent puck stopper starts to diminish from this point forward. And what he found is that in 3 years versus 5 years, you get a little bit of a drop. But Lundqvist, how was Lundqvist for pre-33? He was in the 95th percentile. The next 3 years, 72nd percentile. 5 years, the 69th percentile. That's still a very good goalie.
Yes.
So he was not 95th percentile Lundqvist. He was still very good. Luongo is the one that's a bit of a cautionary tale. Luongo kind of broke down, and Luongo, 3 years and then 5 years, was below the 50th percentile as a goalie after age 33. Yaroslav Halak, still good. Freddie Anderson, by the way, we just watched him be really good. Mm-hmm. He was actually better post-age 33. Mm-hmm. So was Semyon Varlamov. So was Jake Allen, guys that got better. Anyway, what you see here through Travis is like looking at the likely averages. Hellebuyck will still be above average and good. But in 5 years, you probably don't have the league's best goalie. You probably don't have that in 3 years. Can I suck that out for one more year?
Or two.
2 more years?
Yeah.
Really, if you were to trade for Connor Hellebuyck today, and he's got 5 years on his deal, and I said to you, for 2 years, he'll be a top 10 goalie, would you take the trade?
Absolutely.
Yes. 2 years. You're paying the price that he's going to do it for 5 because they're going to try and get you for that price. You're going to be told for 1 year he's top 10, second year he's top 15, third year he's top 15, and after that maybe he's just like a guy.
Yeah.
Is that a good deal?
Absolutely, I take that.
Yeah, I would do that too.
I guess maybe that's a Twitter poll up there. Like, would you take the Hellebuyck price if it meant for 1 season he's a top 10 guy?
Yeah.
And after that he's still pretty good.
I will also say, like, I like that question. I think that's interesting. I would do it in a heartbeat. I think that that's valuable, and I think that the other thing that I want to point out about Hellebuyck specifically, diving into that age thing is, let's analyze Hellebuyck himself, his game. He is very he's a reader. He likes to give me the information. I'm going to sit back here and I'm going to know where you're going to go, and that's how I beat you. And that is not a style that is necessarily going to break down because he's 10% slower.
Who on that list do you think is not that?
Was Quick on that list?
Who's the guy that was not the reader that was just, you're going to what, just athleticism or what?
Luongo was a more of an athlete, bigger guy, a little more scrambly at times. So that would be the name I point to there. Jake Allen is very like, I'm going to read this. I know where you're going to go. Yeah. He doesn't play as conservative depth-wise.
And he played better after age 33.
Exactly, and that's what made me think of it was Allen. Allen is similar to Hellebuyck in terms of they're both known to be very high IQ. And that IQ can grow and will grow as he continues his career and he sees more and more That's a guy that's just that bank gets bigger. I felt it even as a goaltender at my level. I've seen this play before, and then I see it again, and I know what's happening. I can see this coming, and you get more and more comfortable. And I don't think that process really stops. So I would be very interested to see how Hellebuyck would age in that way, because I think that his game would make him improve.
Greg writes in our YouTube chat, isn't this the same conversation as Alex Tuch, aging out? And I think the answer to that is yes, on different timelines. Hellebuyck, you only have 5 more years of a contract. Tuch just signed for 8. Mm-hmm. And Hellebuyck's at a position where the age generally isn't as prohibitive as it is for forward.
Right.
But he is also 3 years older. Which
That's right.
You think could offset the position difference. He also is a higher level player at what he does.
He was
Tuch is a very good forward. Hellebuyck is one of the best goalies.
Right, at his best. Yeah. Is the answer to this finding a conditional trade or conditions on a trade where it's the Sabres will offer, the 2027 first and a 2028 second that conditions to a first if XYZ.
Right.
If Hellebuyck is in the top 15 in save percentage for 2 consecutive seasons, minimum 60 games.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Like, if they win 2 playoff rounds with him starting the majority of the games, right? If we make the conference final with him in the net, it conditions from a second to a first. I just wonder if that's one way to bridge any sort of, you want us to pay the top price because he's been a top goalie. We want to pay a good price, but not the top price because these numbers would suggest we're not getting the 98th percentile goaltender. We're getting maybe the 71st percentile goaltender. Mm-hmm. So interesting stuff from Travis Yost there.
Yeah, I think they're playing a really, really hardcore game of chicken, Jarmo and Chevy right now. They're waiting for one to blink. I think that's what's happening. And I think they went Friday night, and neither one of them did it. And I think they probably called each other the next morning like, how are you feeling? Are we done here, or are we still playing the game? And I think they said, let's keep playing the game, because I think both GMs are in a position where Cheveldayoff knows that this is not a player he wants on his team right now because of the situation. Obviously, the player you want. But I think these GMs are at a place where it's just, I don't want to deal with it. It's a headache, and it's just too much. Get the guy out of here, and we'll figure it out from there. And Jarmo knows there's not a lot of these big fishes have been reeled in, and I want to do something. I haven't really made my splash. I moved Byram for a great deal, but that's not for right now. I made my team better, and I once again have reinforced that this team is set up as well as any in the league. But I want a new toy right now, and I think they're both just waiting for the other guy to blink.
And I wonder what that offer evolves into. Because if Winnipeg wanted, which was reported, for Jack Quinn, UPL, and something else on top of that, and that was too much for the Sabres and they backed off. Now that 4th pick is gone, what does that offer evolve in? Like, what is what the biggest offer that seems reasonable could be? Like
what's
if they trade
here's a question.
Osland a first and Mertka, is that going to be like sticker shock for everybody?
Maybe. What I was just going to ask you is, they didn't want to give up 4. 4 might have been sticker shock. What is the single, before the draft happened, before the 4th pick and the 20th pick, what is the single most coveted piece Winnipeg could want that you would not want to trade?
Helenius.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
Same. We all kind of feel that way. We're all over the moon in love with this kid already.
Yeah.
And to me, it becomes as easy as, well, I'm not saying you're going to give up Helenius, but like, hey, the 4th pick is gone. I guess there goes the trade. Like, no, now they're going to ask for Helenius.
That's exactly what I think.
Because that guy's worth more. And the reality is, Osland versus the 4th pick. What is more valuable to Winnipeg? It might be Osland, but if Osland was off the table, they're like, well, all right, we would like the 4th pick. Okay, now you're not getting the 4th pick. Now we have to get back to work, and is Osland on the table? Like, all these sound like big prices. I get it.
And you mentioned like Scheifele earlier, like the other Morrissey, the other veteran Winnipeg guys. Like what would be more valuable to them? Like help not have them hit the ejector seat.
McLeod, Oslin, somebody that can play today. It's going to be on the team today.
Exactly, 100%. So I think that that could definitely appeal to them. It is worth mentioning that you just mentioned Helenius, that over the weekend, Darren Dreger did say on TSN that Buffalo has a couple of high prospects, Roddy Murka being one, Konsta Helenius being the other. Those names have been out there. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the name I would consider just a bit too much for me to say yes to, but maybe that's not true of the Sabres. Dreger's saying his name is out there. But out there for what? Is he out there for not the Hellebuyck deal? Is he out there for
Robertson,
right,
or something like that?
A bigger trade, because that would still be, hey, the guy's name is out there, but not for the deal that we're talking about.
Right.
I think that should tell you a little bit about what they think of Kulich to me. That makes me think they've got faith there. If they're even thinking about Helenius, then I think that means that they like Kulich still, and they think that that's going to work. Because if they think that, then that makes Konsta a little more expendable.
I would flat out not trade him.
Same.
Konsta.
I wouldn't either.
It would be, you're on the phone talking with Shovel Dayoff, you're like, honestly, like, we're not going to waste time. I would like this goaltender from you, but there will be no package that involves Helenius. Wouldn't do it.
I'm with you. I don't think I would want to touch that kid right now.
I'm a little more open to it than that, but he still would outrank the other guys.
I mean, if you tell me it's if it's going to be like Hellebuyck and Morrissey, maybe we
sure.
But just for Hellebuyck, I mean, no, not happening.
But I guess for me, I think he is the most valuable of the prospects. But if you told me that I could choose one of two packages, Helenius on his own or Oslin plus.
What's the plus?
What the offer I just made up? The first round pick and Murka.
I would rather do that.
Because I would rather keep Oslin. I don't think there's as big a gap between those two that is worth two other primary assets that I can either keep or use in other trades.
I just think Helenius has the higher offensive ceiling.
I think
he does too.
That's to me like just.
But also he's played 11. What has he played? 12 games in the NHL.
Yeah.
I don't want to do the Devin Levi thing where I put a poll up 5 years ago and everybody said I don't want to trade Devin Levi for Connor Hellebuyck. I don't want to look back in 5 years and be like, I wouldn't trade Helenius for Jason Robertson straight up, and he becomes a 20-goal scorer.
The massive difference is this gets to where pedigree is a thing. What was Levi, a 7th-round pick?
Right.
Yeah. And Helenius was like a teens pick?
Yeah.
He was a 14th
mid-first-round pick, yeah.
I'm excited about him, too. I just don't want to go too far. I'm with you. I would not trade him for Hellebuyck. But if you told me he's the main piece in a Jason Robertson trade, I would trade him.
I don't want to be crazy, but I might even struggle with that. I think that kid is look at his numbers at his age versus what Oslin did, and think about how you feel about Oslin right now, and think about what Konsta could be.
Konsta the Monster, as coined by Joe Kelly. Same.
Yep.
I'm taking his name. I'm deleting his name from the database. You send me the trades. Like, no.
Right, take him off the website.
He's not on the website.
He's a ghost.
He's not available.
That's an interesting rumor, though. Like, if his name is out there, in what deal was his name out there?
McDavid.
Right.
Right, did they call about Matthews?
803-0550.
You might even
Jordan, Rob, we'll get to your calls on the other side. World Cup of Joe coming up as well. We'll get to the latest juicy rumors ahead of free agency. We're on Hellebuyck watch. A watch comes before the warning. A watch is where conditions exist.
There's an advisory before the watch. Are we past advisory?
We're in the watch.
We're in watch.
I think we're in the watch today because of the July 1st no movement clauses kicking in.
Right.
And then we might have to downgrade the watch a little bit before it gets reactivated.
Yep. If you get spotted at a Buffalo airport, it becomes a warning.
Yeah. World Cup games today.
3 of them, and
I'm gonna start saying my Norway.
My Norway.
Norway. Our Norway.
Who purposely tanked the final game of the group stage, right?
Get after my heart.
Yeah.
Look at your bracket and find a better road.
They didn't play their best player because they didn't care to win.
Think ahead of the larger picture and realize that a meaningless game does not need to be won for the greater good. My Norway. They play at 1 o'clock today against Ivory Coast. Jeremy and Joe on WGR.